Welcome to Real Estate Essentials. I'm your host, Jay Deere. We are not coming to you from an auto showroom, but this is actually the Good Karma Lodge. This is the home that US Luxury Group is going to be auctioning off on September 14th. We're going to tell you more about that in just a minute. Also on today's show, we're going to be showing you how to survive a home remodel. We're going to go over how to improve your credit, and of course, we're going to show you some incredible homes. So stay tuned right after the break. We're going to get it started right here on Real Estate Essentials. I'm Jay Deere. I've been on top of Utah's real estate market for over 10 years. I will show you things about this market that you never knew. We're coming to you from 2522 West Horseshoe Circle in South Jordan from an incredible multi-million-dollar home that has something for everybody. It's got a beautiful indoor pool, it's got stables, and of course a 30-car barn. They are going to auction this home off on September 14th, and not because it's a distressed property, but because the sellers found a unique way to sell this thing with a group called US Luxury Group. They're holding open houses each weekend, and we were here last weekend as they held the open house. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Dean Ward with US Luxury Group, and today we're having our open house out here at 2522 Horseshoe Circle in South Jordan. We've had a lot of activity today, a lot of people walking through, and a lot of excitement about this property.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. It has a lot of room for entertaining, and yet it has a homey feeling. It has a beautiful kitchen that I'm particularly interested in.
They're loving the property, all the outbuildings, the car barn, the horse barn, the RV garage. There's just, it goes on and on and on. So they're actually getting lost out here. It's so big.
What we really like about this is that it doesn't look like a big mansion. When you drive up to it, it looks like a home from the outside. But when you come in, it has everything that you could need. It's just beautiful.
It looks like this guy really knows how to build. It's a super expansive layout.
We like the indoor pool too because you can use it all year round.
We're looking forward to this auction very much. It's a beautiful property.
For more information about the Horseshoe property, just go to our website, usluxurygroup.com. I'm impressed.
Well, I'm here with Matt with the US Luxury Group. So how'd the open house go?
It was a phenomenal success, kind of like we expected.
So you expected that?
Yeah, we did. We had about just under 200 people come through.
Okay, so and now when he's had this thing listed for how many years now?
Keith listed the home 2+ years ago,
okay.
And in the 2.5 years that it's been on the market with different agents, he's had a total of 3 people preview his property.
Wow. And so how many of you guys put in through this weekend?
Just shy of 200.
Wow. How many of those do you think are actual prospective buyers?
You know, it's interesting because we, as part of our process, we certainly accept pre-sale offers, and we had approximately a half a dozen people that came to us and said, hey, if I made this offer for both the front piece and the additional 4 acres, do you think that's something that he would consider? And you know, we really like this aspect of the home, and we're preparing an offer. So you know, I think legitimately there were probably 5 or 6 people that are very close to making an offer on the property.
Wow, that's great. Well, that's super exciting. So now tell me a little bit more about your system and how you guys put this together and the whole, like, the plan for this whole thing.
We loosely follow principles of social anthropology, and so what we do is we kind of find out what it is that makes people tick, and specifically the current owner. So we go through and we conduct an interview of the current property owner. what websites do you visit? What movies do you watch? What TV programs are you interested in? What are your hobbies? What are your basic interests? And then we tailor all of our marketing efforts, both where we advertise and the tone of our marketing, to that specific person. Because certainly if it attracted the guy that owns it now, it's more than likely to attract the next owner of that property.
Yeah. Well, that's super exciting. Well, good stuff. So you guys going to hold more open houses, or what's the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So every Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4, the open house is available, and it's open to anybody. And like I said, we put a couple hundred people through, and this was our very first weekend of running.
So it's just open to the
advertising.
public. You don't have to pay money to come in or anything?
Nope. It's open to the public, and
So this is kind of cool, because normally you see an incredible home like this, you see it on TV and all that, but you can't actually go walk through it. This one you can actually show, and it's right here in South Jordan, right?
Absolutely.
And so you can come by on the open house and just take a look at it.
Yeah, it was on that on the TV program on HGTV, $1 Million Rooms, and I remember watching that episode thinking, wow, that's right here in my backyard. Wouldn't it be cool to be able to see that house? And now you can.
Yeah, you either got to know somebody, or you got to be part of the program, I
Right.
guess.
So it'll be open 1 to 4 Saturday and Sunday up until the auction date. So on September 14th, it will be sold to the highest bidder.
Wow.
And kind of the cool
And this is
part
an
of-
absolute auction.
It's an absolute auction.
It's gone.
And you know what? We kind of gauge the temperature of the people that come through, and so we've had a lot of interest on this one. And ultimately what we do is we create a great value for the buyer and get a great result for the seller, and we don't draw the process out. I mean, it's final.
There's
on
no
the
need to.
14th. Nope. It's
Yeah.
on the 14th, it belongs to somebody else, no matter what.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, we are super excited to tune into this, because this is going to be fun to watch. We're actually going to show the auction right here on the program, and be sure, if you want to go by and take a look at that house, just take a look on the screen. We're going to show you where to go. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Coming up on Real Estate Essentials with Jay Deere, how to survive a home remodel, and more with the guys from US Luxury Group.
Here's some good reasons why to do business with Michael Chevrolet. 1, we're now open on Saturdays for parts and service. 2, you save on sales tax. 3, we have a shuttle service that'll pick you up, drop you off. You're in the market to buy a car, Michael Chevrolet is rated the highest that you can get in customer satisfaction. The highest! And when you buy a car from us, you get 2 years and 24,000 miles free maintenance. I'm not lying. We're right across from the outlet malls, right off the freeway. Michael Chevrolet. Why'd you go anywhere else? Come on in!
ABC4 Utah wants you to ask the expert. During our 4 p.m. newscast, you'll see experts from Utah answering your questions on a variety of topics.
Options Animal is here to help you take control of your financial future.
Every Tuesday, we will answer your questions on the overall financial markets and how you can effectively manage your own investments.
At Options Animal, we understand that nobody cares more about your money than you do.
Just go to abc4.com/expert and submit your questions to our experts today.
I'm here with Dean Ward with US Luxury Group, and you guys are the ones that are auctioning, of course, the big multi-million-dollar home, right?
We are.
Absolute auction.
Out in South Jordan,
Okay,
2522 Horseshoe Circle.
Okay, good. Now, I had a question on Facebook for you, and somebody had a question. If they wanted to offer before the auction, is that an option?
Absolutely. We can have pre-auction offers come in. They would just contact us through our website or our 800 number.
And what's that? What's the website?
The website is usluxurygroup.com.
Okay.
And basically, they can come in, they can sit down and make an offer, and the seller of the property, just like any traditional real estate offer, has the right to accept it, deny it, or counter it. And the property could definitely be sold before we get to the auction.
Oh, cool. So has that ever happened before?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had, I was involved in an auction down out of Provo, and we went through our entire process, had all the open houses, and the Friday before the auction, a gentleman that lived in that area came forward and made an offer on the Friday before, and after much ado and going back and forth, they finally settled on a price, and the property was sold, and we didn't even have the auction.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
it was
the
just
Friday
it was-
before.
It was sold.
Sold.
And what do you do?
We just announce.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, though, I guess.
It's a
for the
great thing
seller.
because it's good for the seller and the buyer, because the buyer, basically, if it goes to auction, the price could be driven up higher than what they wanted to pay. They could also pay less. It's kind of a, it could work both ways for them.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting.
Yeah, but it's sold and it's
Yeah.
gone.
I guess it's a strategy.
It's a strategy.
A buyer strategy.
It is.
Interesting.
And a seller strategy.
I guess it is. It works out that way.
It does.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me again.
Market in a Minute comes from my actual office, and I just read an article that somebody said the real estate bubble is about to burst again, and we're headed to bad things. And so I want to kind of talk a little bit about that. Back in the day when we had that huge inflation, they were giving away loans to anybody that could fog a mirror. We're not that way anymore. They actually are very stringent, and they'll give loans, but they will verify everything that's going on. And so the loans are a lot more detailed, is a good way to put it. Jobs right now in Utah are at an all-time high, and we're creating more and more every day. Inventory is low. When we burst last time is because we had so many houses that were available. We're actually still very low in inventory. Plus the other thing, if you take a look at this graph on your screen here, if you go all the way back to the beginning, 1989, that's when the graph starts. This is actually as far back as we can go. And you watch it, it goes all the way until 2005. And it's very steady growth. And that's what they call an equilibrium market. And that's just falling inflation. That's exactly what we look for. Okay, but then you'll notice in 2005, it jumps up all the way to 2008. That's when they were doing all these crazy loans. Everything falls apart. We get too many houses on the market, and it falls all the way down until 2012. Now, in 2012, of course, we come off the bottom, and we've almost reached an all-time high. We're at 250 right now. At the end of September, we expect it will actually be above that. And that looks kind of like a bubble. But take a look at this. If you actually take the part out of that graph from 2005 all the way until basically 2012, take a look at that, because that actually shows, if you take out those crazy loans they did, it actually shows that our market is just following along with inflation, which is exactly what we are supposed to be doing. And that's Market in a Minute, maybe a little longer in a minute, but I think it's really important information for everybody to understand. We're here with Rob Joseph of Interior Design Concepts, and we're talking about remodeling, and he's been doing it for over 20 years internationally, not just here, but all the way down in Australia. And when you do a remodel, one of the things you have to be really careful of is it's typically a situation where it's a husband and a wife, and there tends to be a lot of fighting in it. And so the question is, Rob, how do you get a remodel without getting a divorce?
Well, mate, first thing that I would do is I'd get a marriage counselor.
Yeah, about right. Because there are probably more divorces. Other than money, this is probably the number one thing, right?
Never lost a couple.
Really?
Never lost a couple. Finished a lot of homes, but never lost a couple.
So when you meet with them in the beginning, do you actually sit down and say, here is kind of some examples of what you should do and not do?
Yeah. Actually, I go through that whole process with them, and we talk about identifying specific things.
Do you qualify them first, though? Do you qualify them and say, hey, how's your relationship? Do you guys actually like each other?
I sit down and we talk about, one of you doesn't get to do everything and make all the decisions. This is kind of a group partnership. And so in a partnership, you've got to kind of divvy it up and make decisions on, well, one gets to do more structural and the other gets to do like color and interior design. And it's like, okay, when you get into an agreement on that, then it's a little bit easy to referee. You're still going to have those fights, but it's easier to referee because you can go in and say, oh, hang on a second.
So you basically divide it up.
Yeah,
in the very beginning, you say, you're going to be in
beginning.
charge of this, you're going to be in charge of this, and then are you the marriage counselor?
Yeah, kind of a marriage counselor, yeah. And,
So when
and some of them take me out to dinner too.
Hopefully it's not the women.
No, it's both, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. So what's the next step after you divide up and decide what they're doing?
Well, you got to decide, like on a remodel, whether the remodel is for flipping, you want to make a profit on a quick turnover.
So it's money based?
Yeah, it's money. And the second one is living in it. And well, if you're living in the home,
so it's more comfort based.
Yeah,
then.
You want to have it be exactly what you want. So you want to feel comfortable. It's not just the husband or the wife or the boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever's in that relationship. It's not catering to one. It's creating an environment that's comfortable for both.
Yeah.
Everybody that's in the house, and
that's why they're remodeling in the first place,
yeah,
right?
that's exactly why.
And sometimes you lose track of which direction you're going.
Yeah.
And so I guess what you're saying is if you're building there or you're remodeling to live there, then you want to do it based around, your creature comforts. But now what if you want to do it for a flip? Who decides?
For a flip, that's all about money. That's the buck.
Okay, so if you want to do it for a flip, what would you suggest they do?
You got to decide where your range is, how much money you think you want to get out of the house, and then you sort of work backwards and work out a budget. And then once you've got that budget down, and it could be 10,000, could be 20,000, could be 30,000, depending on where the market is. And then you sit down and you decide where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. A lot of times people will just go in, and in their mind, they're thinking, well, if I was living in this house, this is what I would do. And that's a big mistake, because it goes back, no. I'm selling this house, I need to make a profit, but I want to make this house sellable. And so in order to make this house sellable, where do I need to go? Where does that money need to go so I get the best return on my investment? And usually in homes in the mid-range, in this market here in the Valley, bathrooms and kitchens, those are the sellers. Those are the places. So you want to look at bathrooms and kitchens.
Yeah, that's a great place. Good for you. Bathrooms, kitchens, if you want to do a remodel for a flip. Okay, well, thanks for being on the show here, Rob. I appreciate you coming by.
You don't need someone dropping the ball on your mortgage. Recruit a professional. Darren Rhodes, Utah's Mortgage Pro. He's got the skills, speed, and experience to win the best financing for your home. So draft Darren today at utahmortgagepro.com.
Searching down home flyers is so 1980s. If you are ever driving around and you find your dream neighborhood, all you need to do is download Jade's free mobile app. Using this app, you can search for homes, investment properties, and vacant land available using your phone's GPS. What you need to do is text JSLC to 87778. Text JSLC to 87778.
And we're coming to you from the Good Karma Lodge. This is the media room of the house that they're going to be auctioning off on the 14th of September. And we're talking with Darren about credit. Thanks for coming on the show, Darren.
Oh, nice to be here. Well, credit is one of the most important parts of getting a mortgage loan. There's no question about it. You can't overcome a bad credit score or expect to get a mortgage loan with a bad credit score.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you a few tips on getting your credit score up.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you're just barely building your credit or if you've had credit for 50 years.
Okay.
There's a few things, and I call them TLC. And a few episodes ago, you had your 4 Ds.
The 4 Ds, right?
That's right, the 4 Ds. And this is TLC for your credit, okay?
So are you stealing from me? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not stealing from you, not yet.
You're just knocking it off.
That's right.
Let's say you're knocking it off.
That's right.
Okay.
So the first T is time.
Okay.
Take time to track your bills and pay your bills.
Okay.
And I mean like little credit cards. I've seen people that will go get a little bit of gas for their lawnmower, pull out a credit card they never use, swipe it, buy the gas, go home, forget about it. A month later, they get the bill, boom, all of a sudden, you hit their credit.
So it's the little ones you got to worry about sometimes.
Yeah, so just take time, make sure you get everything paid.
Okay.
The next one is L. You want to keep low balances on your credit card. Now, most people don't realize this, but you don't have to keep a balance on a credit card to build credit.
Oh, really?
You can keep a balance at 0. And in fact, the less balance you have, the better score you can get. And the reason why is when you're showing that you have credit available to you that you're not using, you're viewed as less of a risk. And then C, I see this one a lot, most people don't keep track of very well, and that is collections. Do whatever you can to not let yourself get sent to collections.
Oh, really? That's the bad one.
Yes, that's the bad one, because collections can stay with your credit report for a long time, even if you've paid it. A lot of times people will go to a healthcare provider, for example.
Now, do you know how long it stays on there?
Well, it can stay on there up to 7 years.
Gosh, like bankruptcy.
Right, yeah. But then, you know, the longer it's on there, the less it affects your credit score.
Yeah.
But still, it's on there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see them for accounts that are $50 or $60. And people will go to, say, a medical provider, they'll not pay their copay at the time of payment, and then the medical provider will just send you to collections.
Yeah.
And
Because they just want it off their desk.
yeah, they want
somebody
it
else
off-
handed it.
That's right.
Handle it.
But those 3 things will really boost your scores.
Well, great. Well, thanks for coming on the show, buddy. We need this input because I don't even know these things.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff.
Good for you. All right. We'll be back right after this. Okay, heading down into South Jordan for, I like to bring you these incredible homes, and obviously this is one of them. As we fly over the top, you're going to see all of this 1 acre of land.
That's 1 acre.
A whole 1 acre.
Wow.
Plenty of room in the front yard, and look at the beautiful landscaping. Number one thing when you're looking for a house that people look at is, of course, curb appeal, and take a look at that. Absolutely stunning landscape in the front. The way they put that house together, absolutely beautiful.
What makes the curb appeal so important?
That's what everybody looks at. Think about it. How many people actually go in your home by it versus drive past it?
First impression.
That's right. First impression, like anything. And then, of course, when you walk in, you want to have something grand. And this didn't let anyone down. That's for sure, with that beautiful chimney. The 2-story chimney right inside there. If you notice that floor there, and they actually, when they purchased this house, it was a darker wood, and they decided to go with the little lighter wood, and they hand painted, had somebody come in and hand paint those dark accents. And so it made that pop. Floor looks great. Now, the number 2 thing you want to have in a house is the kitchen, of course. And take a look at this one. Beautiful. All that stonework.
Viking range.
Yeah. And the number 3 thing you want in a house, Darren? What is it?
It's got to be master bedroom, right?
You're right, absolutely. Yeah. And that's where we're headed right now. Look at those ceilings.
Wood trim is fantastic in this home.
They did wood trim on everything. The amount of craftsmanship that went into this home is absolutely beautiful, and they're beautiful colors. Okay, so Darren, because I don't want to be able to talk about the backyard when we get to the backyard, let's talk about, so if you were to buy something like this, what would it cost you?
If the purchase price is $1,350,000, you're going to be doing a jumbo loan, which means you'll want 20% down. So your loan amount would be $1,080,000. On a 30-year fixed mortgage, your APR would be 5.8, and that would give you a principal and interest only payment of $6,282 per month. That does not include your taxes or insurance.
Wow. Usually, okay, we're headed out into the backyard, and I don't want to talk anymore about the loan, because if you're buying this home, you're buying it cash. I'm confident in that, right, Darren?
That's absolutely right. There's not a lot of these loans out there.
Look at that nice deck that they have out the back, and of course it walks down to this beautiful pool. They actually redid the pool, and of course they've got this beautiful pool room off the back. One thing you can't see is they actually have a beautiful water feature. What do they call that?
Splash pad.
A splash pad off to the left, and it's not turned on, but it's got LED lights on it, and just absolutely beautiful in the evening. Of course, a place for all the kids to play. Basketball there behind.
It's a beautiful pool.
They actually redid the pool. They actually made it longer and added in that kind of shallow area at the end. Over there on the right, you see where she's walking past. That's where that splash pad is.
I woke up not knowing if I was going to feel sick that day, not knowing if I was going to be able to go to school or go to work.
I was extremely fatigued. I was sleeping probably close to 16 hours a day.
It was a hard way to live because you don't understand what's going on in your body, and you feel like you should be healthier in your habits, and you just feel horrible.
Are you suffering from low thyroid or Hashimoto's? Do you have any of these symptoms? Our breakthrough approach for low thyroid and Hashimoto's is here.
I feel like a regular healthy person.
We just got them. They're beautiful. Completely brand new car. You gotta come look at this. It's a V6, gets great fuel economy. I mean, I really like this car. It gets me all excited. And then I see the price, and I see the gas line, and I see all the bells and whistles. I'm telling you, why am I not? I should be driving this car.
Acura, smart luxury. Mike Hale Acura, smart choice.
Come to Mike Hale Acura. We have them. Now you can have one. You can always find us on MikeHale.com 24/7.
So did I tell you what I did last weekend?
You never told me, but I heard rumors.
Did you hear that I went to Hollywood?
I heard you went to Hollywood.
Did you know I went on the red carpet?
I did not know you went on the red carpet.
Yes. I have a good friend of mine is on the Inn in Hollywood, And now that I have my own show, they invited me to come and walk the red carpet.
The red carpet.
Well, a red carpet. Okay. We'll call it a red carpet.
Well,
It's kind of big.
But still, what's that like?
Oh, it's kind of interesting because I'm really nervous because, I haven't really done stuff like that. I can do a lot of things, but I've never, I can do live interviews and stuff, but I'm really nervous about, I might trip or something. A lot of people with cameras there, right?
Uh-huh.
And so...
How many cameras?
There were a lot of cameras. Well, there were a ton of people in the back, but all the photographers up in front. And so there were probably about 7 or 8 camera guys there.
Right on. So did you run into any movie stars that you'd recognize?
I did meet some of them in the room, but not like the big ones. I went and had brunch at Beverly Hills Hotel, which is absolutely beautiful. It's called the Polo Lounge. If you ever get a chance, you go to LA, go there. And so Sunday brunch. And so I'm sitting there, and Warren Beatty walks by, and he actually says hi to my friend, because I guess they've met before there. And I'm like, that's Warren Beatty. He's like, yeah, that's Warren. He comes here all the time. He says, I was actually in here one time, and I played piano with Chevy Chase.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's kind of a piano player, though, so I don't know about Chevy Chase, but... Yeah. And then the other guy was the guy from, what's his name? Harry Potter. The blonde-haired kid that's always kind of the villain guy.
Oh, yeah, that is Malfoy.
It is Malfoy?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and so...
My kid's reading Harry Potter, that's how I know it.
Is that a stop? I don't want to crash.
No, it's not.
It has no stop sign. Let's not go that way. I don't want to crash. So anyway, yeah, I saw him, and those were my kind of celebrity, big celebrities.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of interesting, right?
Very interesting. I mean, who gets to do that? Not very many people.
It happened. I'm going to try and do it again, though.
Arrive with.
Thanks for tuning into this week's show. We are super excited because we're going to be doing an auction on this very home on September 14th. And that's going to be just an incredible auction, super exciting to watch. And so if you want to come by and see the home, it's open to the public from 1 to 4 o'clock on both Saturday and Sunday. If you need more information, look it up online at usluxurygroup.com. Now, we got an exciting program coming up on the show, and we'd like you to be more involved. And so if you have a project, like a remodel project that you've been working on, send us before and after pictures, and we very well might send our camera crew out to showcase. And we're going to actually have a little competition doing it once a month and showing off your incredible remodels. Also, another thing we're going to be doing on the show, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, we very well might like to have you on our program and showcase what you're buying and your process through the whole thing. Okay, so look us up on Facebook. It's Real Estate Essentials with Jay Deere, and send us any questions you have. And if not, we'll be talking to you soon. Take care.